Hi guys! So before I start this video, I just want to make my little, I don't know, public service announcement. Just seeing everything, every time I go on the computer, every time I turn on the TV, seeing all of the negative things happening, the really horrible things, the very minor things, just all of it encompassed into this negative world that we now have. I just want to say or ask you to go out today and try and make somebody smile, make somebody's day, make somebody happy, give them faith that there is still kindness out there. Basically, things that have happened in the last few months to me have made me this very, I would say, paranoid, scared. I don't know another word to use, but basically that kind of person. And we have this guy that cuts our lawn, and I was just home this morning with my dogs, didn't even shower yet or anything, and he's there cutting our lawn, and I hear the door start to jiggle, and I'm like, oh my god, like, why is he trying to get in the house? Like, he needs to knock, this is ridiculous, and I'm scared. And I apparently am the biggest jerk ever because he was tying a bag of vegetables to our door to give to us. And yeah, so give people faith, because I feel like I lost all of mine and this little act of kindness, and I'm automatically thinking that he's doing something wrong, and he's not. He's a very nice guy. So just, you know, be someone's inspiration today. Okay, let's start into the actual purpose of this video. So I can't remember if I did this or not already, but my memories of making this video were very jumbled in that I don't know if I uploaded it because it was so bad. So I'm going to try and make this video a little bit more organized and a little bit more understandable to new ostomates. So basically, we're going to break down all the different types of ostomy bags, their pros and their cons. So when you go to purchase your first set of ostomy bags from whatever medical company you use, you'll have a little bit better idea the purpose of them. So we're going to start with one-piece bags, and this is usually what they start you off with in the hospital. This is what I started off with, and it is what I kept going with for about a year or so into my ostomy experience, and then I switched over to two-piece bags. So I'm going to show you a few different brands that I have here, and I received these either through samples, to review online, or just buying them because I need ostomy bags. So the first company, and this was like, oh man, this is my favorite ostomy bag, and I don't use it because I don't think it's made, or it's not available in the United States easily. Like, it's not part of my medical company, so I can't buy them, if that makes sense. So this is a brand called New Hope, and this is what a one-piece bag is. All it means is the flange is attached to the bag. You cannot separate them. And because you can't separate them, when you put the bag on, this bag stays on you. So the only way to get rid of the output in here is either to empty it out of the bottom, if it is a drainable bag, or to change the entire appliance. And the reason that I loved New Hope, and it's NU space HOPE, is because of their flange. It is made actually out of foam, and it sticks like no other ostomy bag that I have ever used. I love these. They just aren't available, at least not to my knowledge, through McKesson. So if you come to the bottom, this is a clip that detaches. Let's see if I can figure this one out. You just pop that off. These are kind of old, so they're sticking together. So you take the clip off of it, and then you unfold it, and you would empty the pouch. There is a hole, yeah. you would empty the pouch through this hole in the bottom. And pros of this are that you can empty it anytime. You don't need a little trash bag to throw away anything. You just go to the bathroom like a person who is connected would, and you have to just drain it. The cons of this are that it's difficult to clean the bottom here, and that's pretty much why I changed to a 2-piece. I just didn't like cleaning out the bottom. Now, if you are one of those people who has like a bidet, you're good to go, but you don't always have that in every situation, so it makes it a little difficult. I know some people take a little water bottle with them and they will squirt it into the end just to clean it out, so that's an option for you. Now, if you notice, this bag is actually clear. You can see the flange right through this clear plastic. So they have clear bags and they have opaque bags, and I'll show you some opaque bags in a minute. Here's the bag that I originally started out with, very similar to the bag I just showed you. This is Convatec, and it is a clear bag with a 1-piece flange, so this sticks right onto your stomach. Bag does not detach, and this also uses a clip. The next two I'm going to show you have been featured in another video, which I will post right here so you can check that out. It's a whole review on Salt's Healthcare. And these are 1-piece bags that I have here that are a little bit different in the way that they drain. So as you can see, here's the bag, and this is what's called an opaque bag, but it also has this fabric covering. And I know some people have seen the fabric on my bags and assume that they were just fabric, and there's actually plastic underneath. But yeah, the fabric is just like a coating over to make it soft, a little bit more comfortable for you. So like I said, same thing, flange that does not detach from the bag, but the closure is actually Velcro. So you would fold this up like so, fold those in. Let's see if I can do this. I'm trying to do it one-handed. And then you would fold this up inside the pouch all the way up. So essentially the bag would look like this. Now you'll also notice that some bags have what looks like a little circle or a rectangle piece of foam. And these are usually charcoal filters, just to let air out. I've got to say, I've never had a filter actually work on me, so yeah. The next bag is very similar to the one I just showed you. It is another Salt's bag, 1-piece, with the fabric covering that makes it opaque. But the bottom here drains for a urostomy. So it's basically for very thin output. Usually ileostomies and colostomies would not be able to drain through this little tiny drain. So yeah, a little bit different enclosure. You won't typically see this with ileostomy and colostomies. The final 1-piece I'm going to show you is one that I don't prefer. I don't completely understand why they make this. So this is a Convatec bag. It has a fabric coating on it. It is a 1-piece bag, but if you notice, there is no drain. So what this means is every time that your bag fills up, you have to completely take this off, do your skincare, do your paste, or whatever you decide to use, and put a new bag on. And I actually did a little video shoot with Convatec that included me tearing off a bag off of my skin multiple times, and my skin was so raw. So I can't imagine having to, personally, I empty my bag 5 to 6 times a day, having to tear a bag off of me 5 to 6 times a day. I'm not about that. Now I could see this being used for something like if you were going swimming, going to the beach, and you just wanted something that was very sleek. You could use this. This would be good if you're only doing it once or twice. But I don't recommend this for long-term use because you would have to redo everything every time. So in general, with one-piece bags, you can see that because they're only one piece, there's no connecting ring for the ostomy bag. It tends to be very flexible. In fact, they have convex and concave for stomachs that are either protruding, like in a hernia, or if they are concave because maybe you're really thin. That's what I had. These are really good for uneven surfaces on the abdomen because they are able to conform to the different types of, you know, rises and falls in your stomach. That's why I was on these first. That's why they started me off, because I had lost a ton of weight and my hip bone literally like jutted out. So the bag had to kind of have this sharp turn in it, and yeah, the two-piece was not going to work. We actually tried two-piece in the hospital and it just would not conform to my skin. Two pieces generally are a lot thicker, a lot harder, less able to bend, although I do have one ostomy bag and it is the only one that I know of that does this. They do not have a ring. There is no plastic ring that your bag clicks to. And I will show you that. It's actually from Salt's Healthcare. But we'll get to that in a second. Okay, now we are going to move on to two-piece bags. And I have a number of those here, so we'll go through the different brands and their different features, pros, cons, the same way we just did the one-piece. And you'll notice that the endings, the drainable features of these bags are very similar to the one piece. So the first company I'm going to show you is Coloset. Actually, the company is Flexicare, but the bag is Coloset. I'll show you right here. These I have not used in probably 6 years now. I think I was in high school when I tried these out. But I like to hold on to all of my ostomy supplies just in case. You never know. Sometimes your skin changes and you need something completely different. So this bag is one that detaches from the flange. You can click it right in. It has the opaque covering, but it is not a fabric. It is just the plastic that is opaque. And you flip it around and you can see this ring that clicks into place onto the flange. And you have these little tabs here, little rings that a belt can attach to. So some people like to wear a belt. It makes them feel a little bit more secure that their bag isn't gonna pop off. This one's filter is actually on the back side. And I remember this filter leaked so much because when I got them, they forgot to give me the stickers that cover up the filter. And it is a clipped drainable pouch, so you would clip it up just like I showed you on the one-piece bag. A couple benefits to having a two-piece bag like this is that you can do something that's called burping the bag. I know there are videos out there that you can search to see how to do this, that basically, at least this is how I do it. You have a lot of air that accumulates in your bag depending on what kind of diet you eat. So an easy way, rather than trying to wait for the filter to do its job, you can actually peel the bag slightly off of the flange, just so there is a little gap, and you just press the bag gently to let all the air out. It really reduces the size of your bag because your output actually takes up less space than the air does. So that's what makes your bag appear a lot smoother than if you were to have a lot of air in there. It looks like a giant bubble on your side. The other benefit is that sometimes these bags get kind of icky, or they are starting to fall apart, or the fabric on them is starting to pill. You might want to take this off. Even if your flange is sticking great, it's going really well, you don't want to change that yet, you're able to take the bag off and replace that so you still feel fresh. So those are a couple of the other reasons that I decided to switch to a two-piece. Once I was able to gain weight, because these are a little bit thicker. The next one I have is a Convatec bag, and I believe this is the one that I used in the photo shoot, video shoot, that I peeled off of my skin 800 bazillion times. So this is another two-piece bag. It's got the filter on the front, a fabric cover. It's got the Velcro bottom that you just fold up and stick. And it also detaches like so. And you can tell this is harder to bend than the one pieces. So same thing also, I just want to point this out. It's got the little loops here in case you would like to wear a belt with it. Here's another Convatec bag, but this one, as you can see, is a non-drainable. I actually use non-drainables, and people ask me, why the heck do you do that? I actually noticed that it's a little bit smoother at the end, so rather than having a clip that you have to tuck into your pants or anything, this is just super smooth, and I just like the feel of it better. So that's really why I use a non-drainable two-piece, and I just use a little trash bag, and I peel off the whole bag and put on a new one. But here is Convatec's version of the non-drainable. The next one I have here is the brand that I was talking about, Salt's Healthcare. The only two-piece bag that is able to conform to skin that is maybe not smooth or has a few bumps in it. This is the only two-piece that I have ever used that doesn't have a ring. So basically, this is like a big sticker, and you would peel it off and stick it onto the flange. The thing about these is you wouldn't be able to burp the bag because you can't peel it off and then re-stick it. But they're still so nice for those who would like to have a two-piece, who would like to take off a bag and not have to replace the flange at the same time. It's a really nice option. And this one, they have a few different options with this. They have a drainable type like this with the Velcro, or they have a non-drainable. So it's the same concept. And you can see the name here just in case you would like to check them out. The next one is Hollister. So this is their drainable one, and they have a fabric covering, I think, on most of their bags. This is what I started off with. What is that? A little fuzzy. This is what I started off with, and then I switched to the non-drainable. But this has a clip enclosure. Sorry, I don't have any clips, guys. I don't know where they are. And then here's the flange. So let me open it for you. These are the ones I actually use. That's why it's not open. I just grabbed it from my supply bin. Okay, so this is what I actually use. The plastic ring again that the bag would attach to, and it'll click just like that. You will make sure it's completely clicked, and you would cut the back, stick it on. Yeah. And then, like I said, the non-drainable. Here's the bag. These are my bags that I use. I really prefer them. I like the shape of it. I like that it's smooth. And same thing, it has the little loops for the belt. And I have a belt sitting on the floor over there because I was going through all this stuff. I don't use a belt myself. I don't prefer them. I like living life on the edge. You never know the risk of your bag popping off, you know? Hardcore. Alright, the last bag I'm going to show you is a Plast bag, and this is for those people who maybe are afraid to live life on the edge like myself, but also don't prefer wearing a belt. So I'm going to show you, oops, I just killed the bag. It's an old bag, guys, don't judge Plast. Now that I'm done breaking the bag. So this flange is slightly different than other ones. It's the same concept where it's a little bit more tough to bend, a little less flexible. It doesn't have a paper wafer, and that's another aspect of Hollister's that I liked, was the paper, not paper, but like a fabric wafer that also stuck. I always call it my last defense. So if I have a leak, I can see it starting on the fabric, and it gives me a little bit of time before I have to change it. So yeah, here's what this looks like. This bag, however, is really cool for those who don't want to wear the belt but are feeling a little fearful of what may happen. What you do is you're going to place it around the ring just like you would any other two-piece. And then on the side here, you can see that, you press this together. Do it, yep. And it locks the bag on, so this literally can't come apart. So that's a good option for those who are a little, you know, a little afraid of what may happen, and things do happen with ostomy bags. So there is my breakdown of the different types of bags. You have your 1-piece and you have your 2-piece, and now you can kind of see how they work, and you can decide for yourself what may be a better option for you. If anybody else has any pros or cons to the different types of bags that I've shown, or maybe other bags that you have used, please put them below, because, you know, I can't think of every tiny instance that has happened with these bags and me wearing them. And obviously I haven't tried every type of ostomy bag out there, so please help one another below in the comments, and yeah, I will see you guys soon. Okay, bye.